All right, so a good start. So basically we ended up with sort of three different groups. We dealt with the design over here. We had the guys in the other room who were doing sort of persistence mechanism and caching and syncing and that sort of thing. And then we had guys in here who were working on the model classes for the project. Each group actually ended up with sort of interesting issues to work out. On the design guys, one of the things that's really bothering them right now is the passwordless sign up.
We're not really sure what we want.
You're not really sure what you want yet?
Not at the moment, because the only thing that really bothers us about the confirmation email is that you have to quit the app and go into Mail and click. And I mean, you just downloaded the app, you want to play with it, and the first thing you do is quit it again. That's just really annoying.
Mm-hmm. For the guys who are doing the model objects, one of the issues they're coming up against is images. So what's the proper time to fetch the images? What's the proper format to keep them in, NS data, or put them on a file on the phone and just hold on to what's the file name? And we're going to have to resolve that as well. The guys who are doing persistence, first of all, they want another attribute added to the participation record. Who's doing the participation record? Mateo? So they want one for date created because they need to have an inherent ordering to things that will stay consistent so that they can do what they need to do. So we're just going to add another timestamp, which will be date created. Okay. We're actually getting to the point that is making me very excited and also nervous because there is overlap. There are dependencies between all three groups at this point. The guys who are dealing with the image issue can't really move forward until they know more about the interface because that's going to drive sort of how they fetch the images. They just need to get thumbnails for initially, and then when the person selects it, they get the bigger image, then they would do one thing, whereas if it works another way, they might do it a different way. And then the model objects guys are also waiting for the persistence guys to set up an API where we can do the saving and loading. And then we also need to start actually mocking up the interface so we can start creating controllers that do this fetching and saving. So it's one of the challenges of having so many people working simultaneously is that we're starting to have dependencies. So I don't have an answer for it, but I think that's going to be one of the challenges that we'll have tomorrow because we are really at that cobbling together stage. We aren't at the point where we have something working where we can just be tweaking things independently. We don't have an app yet. So that's going to be our goal for tomorrow is to get an app running. It's going to be a lame app. The performance is going to be terrible. The interface is not going to be as pretty as we like. But if we can get something that you can actually build and run on your phone, then that gets us to the point where these dependencies start to dissolve a little bit and we can get a little more independence back and be tweaking things. So I appreciate your patience. That was one day. I am getting hungry. Anybody else getting hungry? Yeah. I think we should call it a night. We'll start up the operation again tomorrow at 9:30 our time, which will be, let's see, 6 hours behind that will be 3:30 in the morning for people on the East Coast and 12:30 at night for people on the West Coast. Yes? People at home, please tune in tomorrow. Also, there's the Subversion repository if you want to check out what we've already created. There isn't much there yet, but yeah, you got the PDF of the whiteboard. It might be interesting. All right? So thanks.